Nope, we're not buying what General Hospital is selling. The show wants us to believe that Sunny and Jason are going to leave the mob, and this time they really, really mean it. And we have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell ya cheap. For years, hell, decades, we've been told over and over again that Sunny can never quit the mob. If he does, his enemies would still come after him and his loved ones. Plus, he's a good mafioso who just occasionally shoots undercover cops in cold blood, violently assaults those who cross him, and murders federal agents. In Sunny's mind, he has to remain a made man in order to protect Port Charles. So it makes zero sense that the show is having Sunny even consider the offer to buy the piers that's been made by card-carrying, mustache-twirling villain Sidwell. Are we supposed to fall for this? What's Sunny gonna do if he sells? Sit around the broken barware home for retired mafiosos and relive his glory days while comparing gunshot scars with other dons? Nah. We've been beaten over the head too many times with "I can never quit being a kingpin" to act as if we don't know how this storyline ends. We do. We all do. At the 11th hour, Sunny will give his version of the "just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in" speech. Now, to be clear, we'd like to see what Port Charles would be like if Sunny wasn't running the mob. Would it finally give Selena a chance to really flex her muscle? Would corrupt to his core Drew surreptitiously take charge of the 5 families? Would amoral Brennan annex the mafia to the WSB as a sensible means to many ends? It would be fascinating, but it leaves a problem that the soap has never been able to solve. What does it do with Sunny if he isn't the godfather of Port Charles? We have some thoughts about that, actually. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital star Nancy Lee Grahn makes no secret about her liberal stance. But where does she stand with the spiritual side of life? Recently, she shared a humorous reel about God and the Bible. And it's interesting trying to get to know the person behind the character of Alexis Davis. On Monday this week, Nancy took to her Instagram stories and shared a reel by yourstruly_divan. The reel came with the hashtag #Theistumar. So it was an amusing take on how it was all written about a male god by men for men. As the ABC star shared it, the post probably made Nancy smile. The angle that the original creator took was that it certainly wouldn't. They'd be asking a lot of questions about the rights of women in the modern world. Alexis Davis in real life never pontificates about religion. However, she did come from a religious background. Her mom was Jewish and her dad was Lutheran. One thing that GH fans already know is that she firmly believes in the right of women to choose whether to keep a baby or not. That doesn't make her a pro-lifer, which many fundamentalists are. Notably, the ABC star hasn't publicly stated whether she identifies with Christianity or Judaism or any other religious belief. In some of her online posts, Grahn seems to emphasize universal human values over adherence to a particular faith. For example, she once wrote, "We are all made up of the same stuff. We are all human beings with beating hearts, and according to the laws of physics, connected to one another. Therefore, it seems we should look out for each other, endeavor to be fair to each other." Actually, it suggests an inclusive attitude towards life. Notably, she's the type of person to reach out and help those in distress, hence her help for victims during the Lay fires. Nancy Lee Grahn has made passing references to deities in some of her social media comments. Occasionally, she used humor to reflect her stance on things of a moral nature. These mentions don't necessarily confirm a personal religious commitment. And of course, they could be figures of speech rather than declarations of faith. It's not clear where Nancy stands on any religion, but does that matter in 2025? After all, her public statements lean towards universal values. Plenty of people take similar stands during their time around the sun on planet Earth. What are your thoughts about Nancy Lee Grahn sharing a post about women, the Bible, and the male-dominated theme of it? Do you think there's anything? Let us know in the comments below, and come back here often for all your General Hospital cast news and updates. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 14, reveal that Carly Spencer will make a legal move to take the kids away from Willow Corinthos. Elizabeth Baldwin will also grill Rick Lansing about the brakes on his crashed vehicle. So here's what GH fans can look forward to. For starters, it looks like Liz will remember that Rick said something about the brakes before the crash happened. Rick will get grilled, so he'll land in a tight spot as he tries to cover up the truth. Of course, Rick is part of Ava Jerome's blackmail scheme, so they have to keep Christina Corinthos Davis' actions under wraps. It's the only way Ava and Rick can keep getting paid all that Cassidy money. As for Alexis Davis, she'll recruit Damian Spinelli for a mission that could help save Christina's life. It sounds like Alexis will want Spinelli to get rid of any evidence against Christina, so Spinelli might be tasked with wiping the video footage and finding out where the sabotaged car is stashed, too. Christina was targeting Ava that night and wound up causing Rick's vehicle to go off the road instead. It's clear that Christina was unstable, so she really needs to cut Alexis a little slack when it comes to those papers to have her committed. However, Christina doesn't realize Alexis knows the whole story, so she'll continue to hold a grudge. That's why Christina will admit to Dante Falconeri that she doesn't know if she's ever going to be able to forgive and trust Alexis again. Although Christina reached out with an olive branch for Alexis, she'll obviously still be struggling to get past what her mom did. Next, Drew Cain will discover something important, so it might tie in with his efforts to solve the drugging mystery. Drew already knows Portia Robinson played a role in his wild night, but could he become suspicious of Nana Reeves as well based on whatever he finds? Then again, it's also possible Drew will discover the same setback as Willow, since she's about to receive some devastating news. After Carly gets updates from Jason Morgan, she'll become determined to get the kids out of Willow and Drew's house as soon as possible. Jason will spill what he learned from Sasha Gilmore Corbin about Willow claiming Michael refused to see her in Germany. Will Jason contact Michael to confirm or just assume it's true for contrived soap purposes? Carly might feel like if Michael has that much disdain toward Willow, then they need to speed up the timeline on stealing custody. Then again, Jason might figure out Drew sabotaged things and raise concerns about the kids living with a master manipulator instead. Regardless, Carly and Jason will have a strategy session that results in Willow being served with legal papers. It'll be Willow's worst nightmare when she realizes Carly's working to remove Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos from her residence with Drew ASAP. Drew will apparently reassure Willow and tell her that he knows exactly who to call. Although Drew will try to fix this, Willow will remain concerned about the possibility of losing Wiley and Amelia. Finally, General Hospital spoilers say Laura Collins will have a meltdown. So there's a good chance it'll be Ezra Boyle who pushes her buttons and causes a major outburst. Lucy, Anna, Maxie, and Felicia meet at the rehearsal space for the ball. They are waiting for the main attraction to arrive, so Maxie offers to fill in for her. Lucy wants this to be a big showstopper, and they begin working on their routine when Jen shows up. He thought he'd stop by to see if everything is running smoothly, seeing he's paying for everything. In Dalton's office, Emma learns Joss got the research job and screams, "You stole my position." Joss says she didn't steal anything, and she earned this fair and square. Emma cries that she should have told her that she was applying for the position, and she stabbed her in the back. Emma asks if her daddy bought her this job. Joss says her dad had nothing to do with this, and if Dalton is doing anything unethical, she'll let the authorities know. Emma doesn't believe her and says she's nothing but a spoiled and untrustworthy bitch. She storms out. Back at the rehearsal space, Lucy tells Jens to have a seat, and they'll show them what they are working on. Suddenly, Emma storms in looking for Gio. They step out, and Lucy tells Jens how wonderful he is in underwriting the nurses' ball. Jens admits he has an ulterior motive. He says since the word got out about his donation, the people of this city have been so much more welcoming of him. Lucy tells Jens he is an amazing person, and it's become her mission to make everyone else in town know it. Felicia talks with Maxie, who is still worried that Deception's association with Jens may come back to haunt them. Jens eventually has to go and hopes their act will be worth the wait. Lucy promises it will be. In the hall, Emma tells her grandma about Joss getting the position she wanted. She thinks Joss sabotaged her drive and stole her work. She needs to tell Dalton, but Anna says she can't make an accusation like this without proof. Anna tells her there will be other jobs, and she needs to let this go. In Dalton's office, Joss uses WSB tech to scan the place and then breaks into his desk. Someone tries to open the door, which she locked. She quickly puts things back, but it turns out it's only Vaughn dressed as maintenance. He tells her good job, snagging the research position, and it's time to get to work. They begin searching the place and taking photos. They also crack into Dalton's computer. They get everything they can, but realize the real evidence they need won't be found here, but is in Dalton's lab. In Portia's office, she's on the phone ranting to Drew when Trina arrives. Trina was visiting with Kai, but he had to go to physical therapy. Portia asks how Kai is doing, and Trina says he's putting on a brave face, but the documentary guy keeps following them around. She has to bite her lip to keep from commenting on Drew. Portia says it's not their place to convince people about Drew, and she just had a talk with her father about not running an editorial on Drew. Trina asks why her mother did that. Portia claims she was afraid Drew could sue her father. She wasn't in favor of Kay's surgery, but it worked out, so she thinks perhaps they should back off Drew and find some middle ground that doesn't involve conflict. Trina asks if she wants Dad to make peace with Drew. Portia will settle for just coexisting, and she thinks Curtis will listen to her. At the Brown Dog Bar, Curtis tells Jordan that he believes Portia is lying to him. She feels he should be discussing this with someone else, given their history. He believes her background can help him, so she asks what is going on. He says Portia's become a Drew apologist almost overnight. Curtis tells Jordan how Portia talked him out of using Aurora to write an article on Drew, saying he was biased. He's also walked in on several of their private conversations, and something feels off, like when Portia was lying to him. He knows his wife hates Drew, which could mean he has leverage over her. Jordan suggests he talk to Portia and hear her out. Curtis says he'll try, and he prays he's wrong about all of this. At Sunny's, Laura tells him that he can't sell to Sidwell, as he is a horrible man. Sunny tells her the bigger picture is that sometimes it's worth making the deal with the devil. He says this would free her of their political connection, but Laura is willing to bear that burden. She doesn't want Sidwell to build an operation here and can't believe he'd sell out. Sunny explains this isn't about the money, which makes Laura realize he's planning his exit strategy. Sunny isn't leaving Port Charles and will need a security detail, but he deserves a fresh start. Laura can't help but think about Laura is still concerned about what Sidwell's plans for Port Charles are. Laura worries Sidwell won't keep the peace with the other families and will usher in a new era of crime. However, she understands it's unfair to ask him to sacrifice his life and family for Port Charles, so she supports him walking away if he feels it is time. At Lulu's, Carly tells her that this isn't her child. This child has another family, and if she finds this child, it will be a huge mistake. Lulu cries that she's having a hard time keeping this secret, and she's pretty sure Dan's son is here in Port Charles and that it's Gio. Carly asks why she thinks it is Gio, as he wasn't adopted. Lulu explains he's the right age, and she believes Lois and Gloria arranged for their Cirulo cousin to adopt him. Carly calls it a stretch, but Lulu says not if Carly saw what she did last night. Lulu tells her about Dante ripping into Gio, blaming him for covering for Rocco and Danny, and Lois intervening. Lois said, "You don't know what you are saying, and you don't know who he is." Carly admits that it is weird. Lulu reveals that Dante talked about how Gloria and Lois never let Gio stand on his own 2 feet, and she suspects Brooklyn might even know Gio is her son. Her theory makes sense, and if Gio is Dan's son, she has to tell him. Carly says Lulu isn't thinking about how this will turn Gio's life upside down. He'll learn everyone he has loved has lied to him, even his mother. She tells Lulu this isn't her secret to tell. Lulu argues that this boy would be Sunny's grandson and Tracy's great-grandson. She realizes Sunny being in Gio's life all these years proves she's right, and that otherwise, this will blow up in her face. Lulu believes she has all the evidence she needs and reveals what Ned told her. Brooklyn was on tour with her mom and Miguel when her baby was likely born. She also has a hunch about where to look for hard evidence. At the Metro Court, Tracy tells Jason that he can't tell anybody about what she's about to tell him, including Sunny. She informs him that Brooklyn had a baby boy as a teenager and gave him up for adoption. Tracy wants him to find the boy. She explains that back when it all went down, Brooklyn went to her mom for help, and Lois and Gloria arranged a closed adoption of the boy. Jason asks if Brooklyn wants her son found, because if so, he should be having this conversation with her. Tracy admits Brooklyn doesn't know she's doing this, but she must know who her great-grandson is. Tracy worries the boy could be in. Jason says this is none of his business, and he's not getting involved. Tracy figured he'd have objections, so in exchange for his help, she will withdraw her support from the Measure C referendum and advocate for Sunny to keep his property. Tracy says the boy means this much to her. Jason feels for her, but he can't help her and needs Brooklyn's permission to do this. Tracy trusts him to keep this to himself and will find the boy through other means. She also tells Jason that he sealed Sunny's fate, and she won't stop until she runs him out of Port Charles for good. Tracy heads to the rehearsal space and runs into Jens, who is leaving. She lets him know she's fully committed to getting rid of their mutual problem. She heads in, and Maxie tells her she's late, and they need to rehearse their dance. Tracy announces she's not dancing, she's singing, and they are dancing around her. Back at Sunny's, he tells her that Laura's friendship and support mean everything to him. She feels the same about him. Laura heads out, and Jason arrives. Sunny explains that he told Laura about Sidwell's offer. He says Laura didn't like it but understood and accepted it. Jason tells Sunny that how Tracy offered to cut off her support for Measure C, but he turned her down as she wanted a favor in return. Sunny says they don't need to make deals with Tracy, and Laura made him realize that it's okay for him to focus on taking care of his family. On the next General Hospital, Liz confronts Rick, remembering that he said something about the brakes. Alexis turns to Spinelli to help her save Christina. Christina vents to General Hospital. Spoilers indicate that Willow Corinthos is going to be served this week. Most likely she will be served with custody papers by her husband, Michael Corinthos. Drew Kane has been assuring her that he will not let Michael take custody of his and Willow's children. Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos away from Willow, but Willow could start to lose faith. Now that Drew has been drugged and involved in a sordid scandal, she could indeed blame Drew and start to lose faith in him. Willow has been indicating to others, including her mother, Nina Reeves, That is doubting whether or not she should believe Drew. She questions her decision but quickly reassures herself that Drew is a good person and is telling the truth. She continues to stand by Drew, even though a small part of her seems to tell her not to. Now that Drew is involved in a scandal, it does not make Willow look good, especially to a judge who would be deciding custody of her children. Willow would be served with papers that Michael is suing for full custody of their children, and Willow would be devastated. She knows that if Michael goes after her, she doesn't have much of a chance of getting custody, especially since she cheated and ultimately left Michael for his uncle Drew, and Drew hasn't had favorable press lately either. The whole matter is not good for Willow, and she should be worried. She would realize that maybe she was too hasty to move in with Drew so fast, and start to blame Drew for pushing her into decisions that she is not yet ready to make. Drew would try to assure Willow that they can beat Michael and that she will not lose custody of her children. Willow would doubt it and lose faith that Drew can help her keep her kids. Drew would be upset that he has lost control over the woman he loves. Willow would not know what to do next and tells Drew that she has some re-evaluating to do. She would do anything to keep her kids. Willow would turn to her newest confidant, Dr. Isiah Gannon, who would tell Willow that she needs to do what is best for her children, not what is best for Drew. She needs to move out of Drew's house and try to reach an agreement with Michael so she can keep her children in her life. Others have urged Willow to do the same thing, but she may need to hear it from someone impartial, like Isiah, in order for the message to be received. Isiah and Willow could grow closer as a result as well. What do you think? Do you think that Willow will be served with custody papers? Will Willow lose faith in Drew? Will Willow turn to Isiah for guidance? Keep watching General Hospital, weekdays on ABC, to find out what happens next. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Drew Kane is still not aware of Nina Reeves' involvement in drugging him. Thanks to Brad Cooper, he is fully aware that Portia Robinson was involved, but is unaware that Nina is his co-conspirator. Drew could find out that Portia had a partner, and he could wonder if that partner could be Nina. Nina knows that Portia could give her up if Portia herself is exposed, and she worries that Portia will do just that. She also is worried that Drew could figure out that she was responsible and put the pieces together about her hiring Jacinda. She struggles to cover her tracks when things start coming to the surface that could implicate her in the plot to drug Drew. Nina could become privy to the fact that Ezra Boyle plans to tell Drew that he hired Jacinda the night before she was with him, and that would not be good for Nina, as Ezra could pinpoint her with Portia dining at the Metro Court that night. Nina would try to stop Ezra from doing so, as Ezra would figure out that Nina and Portia were involved in drugging Drew. Nina would offer him a sizable payoff to keep quiet about all of this, and Ezra would happily accept as it would help him with his election campaign. Nina would tell him that she would be happy to do anything she can financially for him. Running out of money, Jacinda would return to Port Charles to squeeze more money out of Nina. Nina would be shocked to see her, and hope that no one else sees her and would tell her to lay low until she leaves town. Nina wouldn't be thrilled that Jacinda is trying to extort more money, but she would have no choice in the matter, and give her a lot more money than before to keep her away from Port Charles for good. Nina is continually trying to cover her tracks, but things keep getting in her way. What do you think? Do you think that Nina will struggle to cover her tracks? Will Ezra want to tell Drew that Nina and Portia saw him with Jacinda? Will Jacinda return and ask Nina for more money? Keep watching General Hospital, weekdays on ABC, to find out what's next. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 14, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Elizabeth Baldwin to have some questions regarding her car crash, while Damian Spinelli could be the very person to save Christina Corinthos Davis's life. Plus, Carly Spencer and Jason Morgan will scheme up a storm, which means Willow Tate Corinthos could be in a whole lot of trouble. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the ABC soap opera. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 14, reveal that Liz will have some questions for Rick Lansing regarding their car crash. During a preview video for tomorrow's show, Liz is shown asking Rick, "You said something about the brakes," while Rick looks like a deer caught in headlights. Could Elizabeth find out that Christina cut the brakes on Rick's vehicle, causing their car collision? Whatever Rick says about the brakes will cause red flags. Speaking of Christina, she's also in tomorrow's episode. A scene between her and her brother, Dante Falconeri, is shown, as she states she doesn't know if she'll ever be able to forgive and trust her again. It's safe to assume that Christina will likely fill Dante in on the fact that her mother considered having her committed. What will his reaction be? Across town, Alexis Davis will attempt to gain the upper hand. She'll turn to Spinelli for a meeting, looking for his help. During the GH preview for May 14, Alexis is shown asking Spinelli for some assistance that could save Christina's life. Will he agree to take the job? Willow take Corinthos is going down elsewhere. Jason and Carly will strategize. From the looks of it, Jason will fill Carly in on what Sasha Corbin told him on the Friday, May 9 show. As fans recall, Willow and Sasha had another heated confrontation during the pregnant woman's checkup at the hospital. This is when Willow told Sasha that she went to the German facility to visit Michael and he refused to see her. Of course, Drew Kane paid the lady behind the desk at the clinic to tell Willow that, which wasn't the truth. It sounds like Jason and Carly jumped to conclusions and assume Willow is lying. During the Wednesday, May 14 preview, Carly is shown emotionally telling Jason that she needs to get those kids out of that house as soon as possible. It sounds like Carly is ready to push the button on removing Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos from Willow's custody once again. Meanwhile, Willow will be heartbroken by something on Wednesday's show. The preview shows Willow looking at a document as she says, "Oh. Willow will be served some sort of legal documentation this week. So does this happen during Wednesday's episode? And will Carly take custody of Amelia and Wiley? In the land of soaps, anything is possible. Lastly, General Hospital spoilers note that Laura Collins will lose her cool. It takes a lot to shake the mayor of Port Charles up, so what has her so upset? In other news, Drew will make a discovery. Is this about his recent ketamine drug debacle? During the preview for tomorrow's show, Drew is shown stating he knows someone who could help, so whatever he finds out, he'll know who to turn to for some assistance. What storyline are you most interested in seeing unfold during the May 14 episode? Share your thoughts. Tune into the ABC Soap Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and visit this site often for the best General Hospital spoilers, updates, and news. General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, May 12 to May 30, reveal that Jen Sidwell will be on a risky power trip while the Dagger Danger countdown is on. Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell will also have an embarrassing night, so let's talk about all the action ahead in Port Charles. During the week of May 12 to 16, Maxie Jones will seek guidance from Anna Devane, who may weigh in on Maxie being stuck in the middle of Lulu Spencer and Brooklyn Quartermain's feud. After Tracy tries to pump the brakes on Lulu's adoption article, she'll give Brooklyn some reassurance. Tracy may think Brooklyn's secret is safe, but Carly Spencer will know that's not true when she catches up with Lulu. It'll be clear to Carly that Lulu is fighting even harder to get to the whole truth about Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri's adopted child. When Lulu admits she believes Giovanni Gio Palmieri could be Dante and Brooklyn's kid, that'll really send Carly into panic mode. Carly won't think it's right for Lulu to move forward with blowing everything up, but we all know there's no stopping Lulu at this point. While Lulu works to score the final puzzle pieces, Jocelyn Jack's sabotage scheme should work like a charm. Professor Henry Hank Dalton will suddenly start paying less attention to Emma Scorpio Drake following her extra credit assignment catastrophe. That'll allow Jocelyn to swoop in and make herself a frontrunner and score the research assistant gig. Over with Lucky Spencer, he'll dig into something troubling. There may be some situation where Lucky fears Christina Corinthos Davis' secret could leak. Speaking of Christina, she may let something slip that causes problems as well. Christina will have to undo her blunder and do her best to keep her secret under wraps. Of course, Christina doesn't realize Alexis Davis knows about her trying to target Ava Jerome's car and cutting the brakes on Rick Lansing's car by mistake. Christina is to blame for the crash that almost eliminated Rick and Elizabeth Baldwin, but Alexis will try to protect her daughter and wiggle out of Ava's grasp at the same time. That could involve an attempted deal with Rick, since he's got an offer headed his way, but Alexis' plans presumably aren't going to pan out. Any effort Alexis might make to turn Rick against Ava may end in failure. As for Jason Morgan, he'll make a prediction about Sonny Corinthos' business decision being a disaster. Sonny will think he should strike a deal with Sidwell for the Piers, but Jason will try to convince him to reject the proposal. Jason may also warn Carly about the trouble that could be brewing if Sonny moves ahead with this plan. As for Drew, he'll uncover something surprising while Nina Reeves pushes Carly to grant a request. Nina may be nervous about her role in the drugging plot coming to light, and ask Carly to promise that she'll continue to keep quiet. Meanwhile, some new despair will hit Willow hard. Could Jason look into Michael Corinthos' rejection in Germany and realize someone paid the employee to turn her away? Jason might present some proof that points to Drew sabotaging that visit after being supportive to Willow's face. Could Willow develop real doubts about the kind of man Drew is and what he's capable of? The week of May 19 to 23 could bring the evidence Lulu needs when it comes to Gio and who his biological parents are. Lulu may confirm that Brooke Lynn and Dante helped bring Gio into the world just before the nurse's ball's about to begin. Something tells us Lulu may blab the Gio truth to Dante, Brooke Lynn, or both at this event. It might happen in a tense moment backstage, but the festivities could still serve as the backdrop for this major revelation. Gio might stay in the dark a little longer since it'd make sense for GH writers to drag this out and maximize the drama. As for Molly and Cody, they'll land in some awkwardness after they get mistaken for a romantic duo, perhaps on the red carpet. After the nurse's ball winds down, Sidwell will no doubt make some other bold moves during the week of May 26 to 30. We'll see Sidwell try to establish himself as the most powerful person in Port Charles, but he just might be the most dangerous too. Jordan Ashford's undercover mission will lead to some tight spots and could leave her in over her head with Sidwell. It'll be interesting to see if Isiah Gannon will eventually come to Jordan's rescue once things get out of hand. Back with Christina, will she finally discover that Alexis knows about the car sabotage and is being blackmailed by Ava? Alexis can't keep a lid on that news forever, so Christina may find out the truth and go off the rails. Sidwell sent that ominous dagger to Alexis, so the countdown is on when it comes to the danger that's brewing. Could Christina use that dagger on Ava and prove she needs to be committed after all? General Hospital spoilers say the next 3 weeks will bring some serious excitement, so stick with us for updates on all the mayhem. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease fans should prepare for some shocking twists and bombshell moments in Port Charles. The ABC soap opera has just released a preview video for the week of May 12 to 16, and fans should get ready for some dramatic surprises ahead. Looking back at the episode from Friday, May 2, it was filled with captivating drama. Willow Corinthos faced off against Sasha Corbin in a heated exchange. During their confrontation, Willow disclosed that she had traveled to a burn recovery clinic in Germany to see Michael Corinthos, but her estranged husband had denied her visit. Later in the episode, Sasha encountered Jason Morgan, the very person who had urged Willow to visit Michael at the Baden-Baden facility. Sasha recounted the incident to Jason, leaving him shocked to learn that Michael had rejected Willow. Likely, Jason will uncover the truth by either calling Michael or making a swift trip to Germany to confront him about his decision to reject the mother of his children. However, fans are aware Michael didn't. Instead, it was Drew Kane who bribed a clinic facilitator to inform Willow that Michael had no desire to see her. Once Jason discovers the reality, could this lead to a scenario where both he and Michael agree that Willow should lose her parental rights? This is particularly relevant given the nurse's choice to remain loyal to Drew following his ketamine controversy. At this stage, both men are likely worried about the safety of Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos. As the week progresses, Willow is served with legal documents. It appears she will be at work when this happens, raising concerns Michael is officially seeking full custody of Wiley and Amelia. The children might be spending time with Monica Quartermaine during Willow's shift, which would only heighten her shock and anxiety. Both Michael and Jason seem to have reached their limit with Willow's behavior, while Jason has made every effort to bring some stability into her chaotic life. Jason had done his best to try to keep peace between Willow and the Quartermaines, while facilitating a safe haven for the little ones. Initially, he facilitated a strong agreement between her and the Quartermaines, allowing Willow and the children to reside in their home on the Q's estate. The only condition was that she could not be with Drew in the house she once shared with Michael, as Drew was prohibited from the Quartermaine property. This was a rule that was disregarded just days after the agreement. Then, despite everyone cautioning Willow against moving in with the ruthless congressman, she did the exact opposite. She quickly relocated herself and her children to live with Drew and Scout Quartermaine, a decision that was not only premature for Wiley and Amelia, but also detrimental to poor Scout. Willow and Drew seem to care only about themselves, ignoring what is best for the children. When Jason learns the truth from Michael, he might not realize that Drew was involved, and could think Willow is just out of control and lying to make her husband look bad. This could lead both men to act quickly, asking Diane Miller to file a petition to move the kids back to the Quartermaine mansion or to Carly Spencer's care. Alternatively, Jason might dig deeper and discover who Drew paid off, and this could also push Michael and Jason to act fast to get the kids out of Drew's home. It will be shocking to see how far Drew went to prevent Willow from speaking to Michael. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Tuesday, May 13, 2025. It shows Emma Scorpio Drake accusing Jocelyn Jacks of stealing her project. Carly Spencer tries to stop Lulu Spencer. Plus, Jason Morgan faces a big temptation. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in today's episode of the ABC soap opera. Let's begin with Emma, who was blindsided to find that Joss has the research assistant position she worked so hard to get. Emma will turn to Anna to accuse Joss of stealing the gig. However, Anna will tell Emma that she can't go around making accusations like that. Of course, Anna doesn't realize that this isn't a baseless accusation. At the same time, nobody realizes that Joss is a WSB agent working on a case. Meanwhile, Joss will make some kind of promise. Vaughn or Jack Brennan could worry that Emma will be a problem. However, Jocelyn might assure both of them that Emma isn't going to be an issue. Joss could be underestimating Emma, though. General Hospital spoilers for the next episode reveal that Curtis Ashford will worry that Portia Robinson is lying to him. Portia nearly slipped when she explained that she had to defend Drew Kane. When Curtis wanted her to elaborate, she quickly covered. Curtis knows his wife is hiding something, though. When Curtis tries to talk to Jordan Ashford about his marriage, she shuts him down. Since they are exes, one can't blame Jordan for wanting to stay out of it. Over at the hospital, Trina Robinson will be caught off guard. Trina will question her mother about wanting Curtis and Drew to find peace. This could also give Portia the opportunity to ask about Kai Taylor. However, Jocelyn might assure both of them that Emma isn't going to be an issue. Joss could be underestimating Emma, though. General Hospital spoilers for the next episode reveal that Curtis Ashford will worry that Portia Robinson is lying to him. Portia nearly slipped when she explained that she had to defend Drew Kane. When Curtis wanted her to elaborate, she quickly covered. Curtis knows his wife is hiding something, though. When Curtis tries to talk to Jordan Ashford about his marriage, she shuts him down. Since they are exes, one can't blame Jordan for wanting to stay out of it. Over at the hospital, Trina Robinson will be caught off guard. Trina will question her mother about wanting Curtis and Drew to find peace. This could also give Portia the opportunity to ask about Kai Taylor.